Carolina says, I'm curious what game you guys played the most and how many hours you have in it. For example, for Carolina, it's Farming Sim 2013, which is 2,419 hours. There are 0 games that show more than 1,000 hours for sure. I would be a little bit surprised if there were any games that actually had over 1,000 hours. However, Stellaris has a lot of unaccounted for hours across a great many lunch sessions that were all played in offline mode. So as a result, they don't appear on the clock. Like completely offline.
Squire Paris's store is a strong spectral presence.
Shall we?
Okay. Home lies where the heart is. Sorry, home lies where the heart lies.
We're closed.
Jane.
Banisher?
Where's the older gentleman I met before?
He died. I was out hunting, and when I came back, his spirit had gone. It was wrong to leave him to die alone.
His ghost now haunts you. But you know that, right?
Leave his spirit alone, Banisher.
It's no small thing to be haunted.
It's no small thing to be dead. The Squire has always protected me. That's more than I can say for most people. Now I'll do the same for him.
Dear Jane, too kind.
Squire Paris, sorry to see you this way.
Not as sorry as I am.
I'm a banisher, you know. I could help you, both of you. That's what I do.
I don't know. This is new to me. Jane stands by me, though I'm dead. Oh, remarkable woman.
You've only ever stood by me. Now, Banisher, we have work to do, as I'm sure do you, elsewhere.
Okay, leave the shop. And hello to Crow!
You there? A word, if I may. We must talk.
I think he means you.
Wonderful. Go on then.
Another ghost. I'm guessing from your rigging that, like Mr. McWraith here, you're a banisher.
Antea Duarte. Yes, I'm a banisher. Red can see you, by the way.
He can? Oh, interesting. Being dead, it seems, comes with a whole new set of rules, and I do not wish to learn them. As I'm sure you're aware, someone, somewhere, has made a mistake. Several mistakes, in fact.
Oh, aye?
Yes, I'm not supposed to be dead, and even if I were, I shouldn't be here talking to you. I seem to be haunting Jane. I'd like to employ you to do whatever it is you do and send me on my way.
Sorry, I just really like this guy's demeanor. Hey, I'm dead and this seems kind of inconvenient. Can you... Patikin, thank you so much for the raid. I'm extremely curious how this guy died.
How did you die?
My heart gave up on me. I felt a terrible pain in my chest. My head spun, the world tilted, then it all slowly faded away to nothing. My heart gave up, and who could blame it? Poor me. I died alone. But I died with dignity. At least there's that.
Had someone been there, they likely couldn't have helped.
True. Still, some company would have been nice.
I also want to participate in the how... Oh, whoops. I didn't even know you could do that in conversation. I was trying to go up. I also want to participate in the what games have you played the longest, but...
Are you in love with her?
You must be joking.
Love undeclared is a common reason for a ghost to linger.
I am not a man of undeclared emotion, Mr. McWraith.
Do you have any unfinished business that could be keeping you here?
Business was my trade. Trade was my business. But I'm not here because of unsold stock. I must be here for Jane. She was my bodyguard. The contract was informal, but we obeyed it to the letter. For my part, for years I helped to track a group of mercenaries known as the Hummingbirds.
Go on.
I'd rather not. Jane's proudly Pennacook, and the story is her own. She'd tell it to you before she tells your man. She doesn't much trust white men.
I'm shocked. Keep talking.
Before we left New Eden Town, Jane had a secret. She was working on a map. I suspect she was up to something dangerous.
Unfinished business. I'd like to see that map.
If you look behind me, you'll find her quarters. Be discreet. I've betrayed her trust enough.
Okay, well, she's right there, but you would think that the quarters would be in the same building where she does her work. Oh, or right here. There's going to be a lot of story. First of all, Patikin, really, thank you very, very much for the raid. I know that you might have to lurk due to the amount of story that there's going to be here. I also want to talk about what games we've played the most, but we want to do the story too. Jane's private journal. Those not ill reacted fast, for we knew the sound of war, but we were too few. My father's face was red and scabbed, and he could not rise to face them. The hummingbirds flapped their wings and burned the tents with our elders inside. My father was among them. Most were too sick to fight. I ran, I fought. Some ran, I fought. In the end, I was forced to yield. I counted the blades of grass as they put the chains upon me. I stink still of ash and gunpowder. I stink so long the stink is mine.
How do you rebuild a life after such horror?
With help. And Squire Paris seems willing.
I wonder about the epidemic. Was it a local disease or something else?
Paris, I hear there is game to be had in the Indian summer grove near Thickskin's camp. I hear further that your Indian huntress is making good use of it. I wish to do the same. My map shows an old hunting tower that would well suit my purpose. Oblige me with passage that your native girl may leave me be, and I shall be grateful. That's Teddy Shepherd. Jane wrote back, Shepherd, if I catch sight or smell of you trespassing on my hunting grounds, I shall go to war.
She's very defensive about that particular patch of forest.
Like you with the blanket when the night is cold.
Paris is hiding something. Check the register in the safe. Key?
Jane doesn't trust her boss.
We should poke through the squire's books.
Could we also just ask him? Like, he might just tell us. He seems very interested in wrapping up whatever his deal is here. Also, Jab is talking about the Warhammer 40,000 release for Power Wash, which is just a perfect marriage. If you can think of something grimier, the next thing we need is like the Witcher 3 DLC for Power Wash Simulator. Really, really get to the grimiest, goriest places in the world.
We're not opening that without a key.
Shouldn't be hard to find.
Okay, we might use Antea powers. Letter diagnosis from Dr. Ireton. Boston, 27th June, 1692. Paris, my dear friend. After our numerous and assiduous examinations, I cannot conceal the unfortunate truth. Your health fades inexorably. I fear your days of bold mercantile expedition are over. You must work less and work lighter. Knowing your tenacity, I must insist, for your own good, adjourn all voyages, and if you must travel, preserve yourself. Do not travel far without resting, and never travel alone. If you follow my advice, your chest pain and short breath may find remission. If you do not, you risk a quick aggravation, especially if vexed by life's annoyances. Time to put your feet up, my dear friend. You've earned it. Dr. Virtue Ireton, Fellow of the Royal College of Physicians.
No keys here.
If I ever become a ghost, I really hope that I'm like this guy, Sincere Paris or whatever his name is, and be like, huh, what do you know?
I thought I saw something shiny.
Jav says the trailer is really good. You're purging the unclean. This is a different lockbox, and that is something we can shoot. I feel like this is really going to draw her attention since she's like 10 paces outside, but... I heard a clatter of metal. We found his horseshoe. No, it's the key. Wouldn't it be great if it fell between the floorboards? Like, god damn it. Then we get to blast a hole in the floor to go get it?
I wouldn't have kept a key here.
You probably would.
Where was it, by the way? Like, was it dangling from the ceiling? I feel like that would have just drawn more attention to it.
There. The Squire's archives.
Paris's register, May 27th, acquired 24 bushels of corn from the Pennacook. June 28th, sold 12 bushels corn in New Eden. July 21st, acquired 210 blankets. Oh no, is that what caused the illness? From F. Boverger, sold 210 blankets to the Pennacooks.
Paris had traded with the Pennacook, Jane's people.
I don't know. I don't know which one of these.
Maybe he thought he'd make a profit on her. He's the type.
Don't be so cynical. That's my job.
Certificate of Indentured Servitude. Oh, this'll be a fun read. By order of the rightful worship mayor Fiddle Marbury, it is hereby certified that the Indian slave named Jane, having ability sufficient to provide for herself, shall be indentured to Squire Sincere Paris for 7 years until she becomes a free subject. We have granted this certificate this 12th day of December in the year of our Lord 1690. This tie is doused with the essence of its ghost once a closure is, etc., etc.
Squire Paris bought Jane's freedom, then hired her as his bodyguard.
That was generous of him. This contract is the ghost tie. Right. We should talk to the Squire.
So I'm only about 60% sure of what I heard Red say. Did he say that Squire Paris gave her her freedom, like granted her freedom, and then hired her? Or did she run out the 7-year contract and then he hired her? But basically, if one way or the other, they put an end to the indentured servitude and then he was, like, she was a paid employee, I really need to know that in order to make whatever decision we might make here.
I hope you bring good news.
You traded with the Pennacook, Jane's people.
As I traded with many of the tribes. How do you think I met Jane?
You took her into your employ. Why?
Jane was to be sold, sent overseas as a slave. It pulled my heart. I could not allow it. So I bought her at auction and gave her her freedom. The irresistible river of commerce could, I thought, flow on without her.
Does she know you traded with her people?
She does not, and I like it that way. Best not to wake the sleeping dog. Soon I shall be gone, and all this shall be history, unwritten and forgotten.
Hummingbird mercenaries massacred Jane's people. She likely seeks revenge.
Ah, right.
He doesn't seem surprised, but then again, he also doesn't seem terribly surprised to be dead. And yes, I did read the doctor's note that he was not in very good health. I still feel like it would be a little surprising to be dead.
You don't seem surprised.
Why do you think we came to a backwater like New Eden? She knew the hummingbirds had been here.
I wonder if it's this that's keeping you here.
Yes, of course. It must be. Right. That's how. Can I go now?
Jane wants revenge on the mercenaries who killed her people. Maybe that's why you're still here. Give us something to work with, Paris.
Jane had a cache of weapons in the wood. The fiery grove, as she described it. I presume it to mean that the trees there are autumn red.
Arms in the woods. Red leaf trees. Noted.
We'll take our leave, Squire Paris.
I'll set up shop by my graveside. You'll find me there.
Let's find this fiery grove.
I figured that's where we were going to go. Wants revenge on the mercenaries. Decimated by sickness, Jane's tribe was wiped out in an attack by mercenaries. The reason that we saw the thing about the blankets, and I was immediately like, oh no, is that where the sickness came from?
She means to kill the hummingbirds.
No surprise there.
Sincere's attitude is definitely strange, and not only for his constant whining.
Boy, Antea has a different definition of whining. It seems to me like he is looking forward to not being here anymore, but I didn't find him completely, you know, particularly, this sucks.
Who might you be?
Credence Scudder, sir. At your service, sir.
Scudder? Are you brother to beloved Scudder?
Oh, no, nothing like that. He's my cousin. And who are you? Your lordship?
I'm the Banisher, Red McCraith. And while I welcome your civility, you may call me Red.
The Banisher that saved us from the beast. You, your lordship, are a hero.
Many fled New Eden because of the curse. Why did you stay?
Me? Oh, I dunno. I stayed because Cousin Beloved said so, I suppose. I always do what Beloved says. Things go better for me.
He's sweet, and lucky to have someone to take care of him.
You're a man of loyalty. You must believe in your community very much.
Do you mean people? Yeah. I love people. Really love them. Without people, oh, I'd be alone. When things are bad, best stick close to them you know, don't you think?
How are things going around here, Credence?
Oh, you're asking me? That's so great. I don't know anything, but...
What did you think of Thickskin Newsmith?
Oh, she was very brave, sir. The bravest. She saved us all. Twice. I'm sure you did everything you could to save her. No one blames you. Probably.
Kate leads the camp now. How do you think she's doing?
Well, she tries her best, but it's not the same. She can't protect us like Thickskin did. We all know it.
How fares the camp by your measure?
Kate says we're to bury the dead and prepare to leave. I miss Thickskin, sir. I do.
A good day to you, Mr. Scudder.
God grant you the same, sir.
This is one of the first conversations we've had with people where they're like actively talking about thickskin in the past tense. So yeah, we've got a bit of a hike here in order to find where we're going. So yeah, games that I've played the most and that I'm not going to have like an hour thing for it, probably Heroes of the Storm, because the daily quests in that actually will linger for up to 3 days, and then you can sort of like you can get 2 or 3 daily quests that are all sort of like there and then do them all at once. I've played a lot of Heroes of the Storm. I brought it up in the past. I enjoy the game. I like the fact that the average match is between 20 to 30 minutes at the absolute most. Most of them are like 15 to 20. So it's a pretty trim playthrough. It's great when, like, well, I've got a little bit of time, but not enough to really get in depth with something, and I can work on these daily quests. So I have, for years, probably, you know, dropped a few hours every single week cumulatively into Heroes of the Storm. So that one for sure. Let's see what else we've got on the path. Oh, not actually a lot between here and where we're headed. Is that where... Nope, that's a different case. Oh, boy. I'm going to try to not pick up that case on the way. I don't want to get our storylines tangled. Also, Jab is going to take off. Jab, thank you very much for hanging out today. I hope that you have a great rest of your day.
Enough!
Stellaris, as previously mentioned, Civilization 6 is another game where whatever it shows in Steam is short by 100 hours at least. Just from, like, offline games that have been played here and there. Let's see, what else? I mostly only remembered Heroes of the Storm when somebody... Was it? Yeah, it was Club had mentioned League of Legends. I've never played League of Legends. I tried a bunch of Dota 2. Dota 2 was an enjoyable game, but the community was like toxic like a tar pit. I mean, it was just an absolute scumbucket of people that you had to interact with. So the shine came off of that. Plus, those matches would typically be like an hour. And Heroes of the Storm came out and just has a much more sort of appealing pace and a much less sort of like noxious community that's gathered around it. I don't know from League of Legends. I've never played League of Legends. I would still like to see that Arcane animated show that they did. And we just haven't had a chance to actually access Netflix and see that. Played a lot of XCOM 2, although I think that... I want to say that literally all of those hours are recorded. If we have time at the end of this stream, remind me, and what we'll do is we'll actually look to see what Steam says is the longest played game, but we would have to add on a lot of time to both Civilization 6 and Stellaris, both of which got a lot of... Oh, and Stardew Valley. That's another one. I'm going to say that Stardew Valley is not going to come in as high as those two other games, because that was one very intense playthrough. Like really dedicated a lot of time to Stardew Valley for one playthrough, but it was just the one, whereas the others that I've mentioned have been played a lot across a lot of different games.
Feeding off their own rage.
Okay. Really bad at blocking. Really extremely bad at blocking. I should have just done that. Really should have opened with that one. Trying to think of other games. If the statistics for this existed, then I would say Star Control 2 and Wing Commander / Wing Commander 2 / Wing Commander 3. Like, if you were to add up all Wing Commander games, probably in the couple hundred of hours. When I was younger, I played through Wing Commander and those games multiple times. You know that age where you don't have money, so you sort of play what you have? I would say that in comparison to other games that were out at the time, not to mention games that came out somewhat later, like X-Wing and TIE Fighter and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and Free Space and Free Space 2. Wing Commander games were good for the time, I guess. Okay, I really thought you were dead.
Just die.
okay?
Piss off.
And Star Control 2 was another example of a game that I would load it up, I would play it a bunch, I would sort of like lose interest, uninstall it, wander away, come back to it like 6 months later, 9 months later, start over, read all of my notes. Oh, and the Ultima games. Yes! Jägermeister! I actually thought of that a heartbeat just before I looked at chat. Ultima 5. That was mine. Jägermeister said Ultima 4 was my 87 or 88 summer vacation game. Ultima 5 was mine. I played so much Ultima 5 and then Ultima 7. Fun fact, never played more than a couple minutes of Ultima 6. I played a bunch of Ultima 4, but that one was a little bit too, that one was very challenging, and at the age that I was, a little bit too... See, Inscrutable is... It didn't make sense, but it just made sense in a way that, like, my experience was not going to be... And level of dedication was never going to make much progress in it. But I played so much Ultima 5 and then Ultima 7. Like, tons and tons and tons and tons.
A letter from the dead, perhaps.
Oh, no!
What the? Oh, hold there! Would you happen to know why the bridge is up? Sir? Oh!
Could people not stop murdering each other for one bloody minute?
And put us out of work.
I'd almost welcome the change at this point.
Come on. The body would have floated downstream.
I specifically did not want to start a different case. We're going to stay on Home is Where the Heart Lies, but yeah, we'll certainly... Sorry, that's the wrong button. Sorry, well, we're definitely going to fail this. Okay, so where does this one go? There. Wow. How are you supposed to hit that, though? From here. From here. Yep, okay. So we hit that, and we hit that. I feel like we can make that shot. As long as I go faster than this, I missed it, by the way. Yeah, okay, let's just let them regrow. I really screwed that up. I was literally about to say, the key to these is not to get panicky and do them too fast, but also you do have to shoot them. Okay, so that's fun. Also, I just realized that you could quick scope it and really dial in that shot a lot faster. Killer is saying that Total
Jane's
Annihilation
Fiery Grove. Let's search around.
would also be high on his list. Yeah, I played a lot of Total Annihilation. You want to know what I never did, though? I never finished the campaign. I played a bunch of the campaign. I found the campaign, like, really tedious for some reason. And then just playing skirmish against the AI. The thing about Total Annihilation is that the AI was broken in a way that when you think in your head of, like, broken AIs, you are still not there. You're not even close. I mean an AI... An AI that would effectively never attack or build anything resembling an economy, and also wasn't designed to, like, cheat to fake it either. An AI that was completely inert. Totally inert. You would spend some time building up your base. You'd get curious. You'd go over there. You'd find the AI, like, milling around with a couple construction bots, starting a construction, not actually finishing it, completely, like, destroying its own economy. Like, just really, really broken AI. But I didn't get anything out of playing that campaign at all. Okay, so I'm sure that I missed a couple. Did it regrow? Okay, there's one. There's two. Three. See, I feel like 2 is going over there, but we might look past it. No, I don't see anything there. Oh, hold on. I found the snake. 3 is over here. So if we stand right... No, there's no way to do this without moving, I don't think. But we can try to move as little as possible. Come on. Killen says, not sure he ever did that either. Total Annihilation was definitely best played with friends against friends. And then when Supreme Commander came out, that was the game that me and some friends played a lot of. Like, played a lot of that, both with each other and then, like, against the AI. Just building up huge bases and getting your shield generators up and your artillery, you know, things there. Your huge, like, fleets of airships and stuff. And what was interesting is that, like, then Supreme Commander 2 came out, and that game is just, like, not fun. And I would really like to color in there, like, what the hell
something close.
That means. But I don't know. It just... Supreme Commander 2 was just not enjoyable. And I could never put my finger on what it was. Okay, so there's our down. But we can definitely go up. Some other way. Oh, Witcher 3. I mean, I don't think that I could possibly have played as much Witcher 3 as I did of Civilization 6. Oh, and XCOM 2. What the hell am I talking about? Like, I have not played, like, 2,000 hours of XCOM 2 or whatever it is that Club has played. Not by a long shot. But I have played a lot of XCOM 2. That's another game where if I were to bet, I think that every hour that I've played is probably recorded in Steam. That has not ever been an offline game for me. For my producer, Elite Dangerous, for sure. A lot of Stardew Valley. A lot of Starbound. She got much more into Starbound than I was able to, like, sort of get. A lot of World of Warcraft. I also played a lot of World of Warcraft. We played that together for a lot of years. She never really got into... She played some of the Old Republic. When my friend HW and I played some Old Republic. She got kind of into that. Yeah, no, let's focus on this. But yeah, she played... She's fully out of Elite Dangerous now. Just because that game really stopped getting anything resembling, like, consistent updates. But for a long time, that was her go-to, like, relaxed game. Carol Luna only has 52 hours in... Is that StarCraft? StarCraft, what is FA? I'm completely forgetting what the StarCraft expansion was.
This must be Jane's watchtower. Did we miss a few?
Get the hell out of there!
There's more of them.
That is really satisfying. That sort of like huge burst shockwave attack. And I think that I've shared this story as well. Speaking of the Ultimate games, if I haven't, and I'm pretty sure that I have, my mom made Ultima 4 was a tile-based game. You know, the whole world is a grid, and you can go north, south, east, and west, and you can go into a city. But aside from that, the grand overworld of Ultima 4 is a grid, and that grid is represented by this sort of color green with a little graphic. Means that this is a forest square, or a swamp square, or a grassland square. I don't think that Ultima 4 had roads, if I remember correctly. I don't think. Forged Alliance. Says Caroluna. It was SCFA. I don't think I ever played the StarCraft 1 expansion.
Peter!
I did play through the original campaign, but that was before the expansion pack came out. And then StarCraft 2 came out, and I played a pretty good distance into like Wings of Liberty or whatever that first section of it was, and just sort of petered out on it. Okay, I've sort of wandered away from the watchtower, but I want to come down here because, to the best of my knowledge, we've never been down here. But, using graph paper, my mom created a square-by-square map of the entirety of Britannia in Ultima 4. I mean, so just the overworld, not the dungeons, not the towns, but she took colored pencils and graph paper, and she mapped out the entire world on graph paper. And the fact that we do not have any good photographs of that, or better yet, the actual thing. Oh, and by the way, like, graph paper, like taped together. At one point, it was up in our house. It covered an entire wall in one of the rooms, and over time, like wind and like the fading of the tape and the whole thing sort of came apart. There might be a box someplace that has all of those like graph paper pages, but in retrospect, the fact that we did not photograph that, we did not document it, we did not send that into Origin Systems, I guess, I mean, I was young enough, but I guess, like, we just sort of, like, generally thought that, like, they don't care, they're just making games or whatever. Now, knowing what I know now, I mean, what does Richard Garriott think of anything? That's really difficult to guess based on, like, the person that he is. But other people worked on that game, and I have to assume that some of them would have thought that that was, like, really cool. Because you guys, it was beautiful. If you've ever had an appreciation for like pixel art and like all of the work that goes into that, this was the recreation of pixel art, like created by somebody else. But the way that it all came together and formed the oceans, like, I mean the oceans, like in Ultima 4, there was a hot air balloon that you could get into, but it would blow along with the wind. And forgive me if I'm misremembering this, but I'm pretty sure that there was a spell that you had to cast to like control like the direction of the wind, and to make it blow and to cast the spell, you might have even had to like collect certain reagents. And she did that. She got up in the balloon and she mapped the entire ocean to make sure that there weren't any like islands out there that she wasn't aware of or anything like that. Jägermeister still has the original cloth maps for Ultima 4 through 6, or possibly 8. Yeah, boy, remember Ultima 8? Oof. That was, everybody has the story of the game that they kept playing because they just didn't realize that games could be bad. I feel like I've heard this from everybody that I know that has grown up playing games, spent a lot of time playing games, that like, yeah, in retrospect, that game was just bad. That was just a bad game. But I didn't realize it, and I kept thinking that, like, well, first of all, I don't have anything else to play, and secondly, like, either it's what my family had... Oh, that's... Okay. That's what I wanted to do.
It's close.
I didn't realize this was the way up to the hunting cabin. I thought... No, I am going a different way. So, Jägermeister, we did not have the original cloth maps at the time. One of the reasons she wasn't just making that map out of a love of the game, that was sort of like her personal project during a time in her professional life when she was like going through a lot of like classes and studying and certifications, and when the words in the textbooks just started to blur together, she would load up Ultima 4 and she would map out another couple like square miles or whatever of this land, and she did the entire world. I've never created anything like that, of like that scope or magnitude based off any game. I would endeavor to ever do such a thing. Because there's no ghost tunnel over there just yet. This also might pertain to a completely different investigation, because this seems like an awfully elaborate sort of side story here.
Find the key to open this.
Oh, Jelly Buns! Thank you so much for the raid, and hello to Fox McCloud. We are playing a bit of Banishers, and I'm just about to read The Void is No Hell. Jelly Buns, I hope you had a fantastic stream. How is your Thursday going? While you are coming over, we're going to read about this. I can't say most of these words. The Great Below, or the Earth of No Return. The Void has always been the land of the dead. The underworld, destined to hold the deceased for eons to come, beyond the veils of lives weaved by the ignorant priests. This is where the secrets of eternal life await the pursuer of immortality. This is where I must go, but come back, like Orpheus before me. No judgment of morality, no weight of the soul, no reward for the dead once the anguishes of the flesh are finally extinguished. A destination only postponed by the lost souls who convince themselves they still have a good reason to linger among the living. A destination for the pursuers to conquer before their final hour has come, if they want to escape this journey without return. I leave the hope in some great beyond in the sky for those who seek redemption. I know it is not for me. Another lie forged by the priest. Hell may be void, but the void is no hell. Signed, E.R. So, Sally Cormack is also waving hello to Jelly Buns. Jelly Buns is saying, great stream. Did some more vintage anime. How's it going here? Well, we are currently investigating the haunting of a young woman who lives at this sort of like not New Eden, but nearby, whose tribe was beset by severe illness and then butchered by a mercenary group called the Hummingbirds, which may be a real-world thing. I have to say that if I was to name a mercenary group the Hummingbirds, I would probably not expect that name to be taken very seriously at first, but they were successful at, like, really hurting these people. And then what we've worked out so far is that she was sold into indentured servitude, then freed either after her 7 years tenure was up or by the person that bought the contract, and then hired on as an actual, like, paid employee. So that's where we are so far, but now she has a mysterious hunting lodge that we're trying to track down. So Jelly Buns, I hope you had a great Thursday. I really appreciate the raid. Thank you very much. And hello to Phoenix Fireflies as well. It's actually Phoenix Fireflies, like soars through the air. Flys. I hope that you're also having a great Thursday. Banishers is sort of like a third-person action haunted investigation game, and the woman that I just described is being haunted by the ghost of her former employer, who, frankly, seems a little bit confused about the whole thing. He fully accepts that he's dead. He's not sure why he's still here, and is actually like, hey, can you figure out how that I can not be here anymore? And this is
Peaceful. No wonder she kept it to herself.
A haven where one can mourn and scheme. I want one too.
One day you shall have it, and we can scheme in it together.
Oh, and Jelly Buns and Fireflies and everybody else. Fox, we were also talking about what games you have the
She's
most
an artist.
hours in.
That makes her doubly dangerous.
Oh! Though we remember we saw a bunch of these. We saw a bunch of crates with that hummingbird symbol on it, and I did not know what it meant. Apparently that's the mercenary group. I didn't put that together until right this second. Yeah, she doesn't like them.
She suffers alone. Reminds me of me upon a day.
She glories in the killing. You are not the same.
Based on her backstory, I kind of get the glory in the killing. But yeah, we've been talking a little bit about what games we have the most hours played in, whether they're recorded in Steam or not. So I'd be curious for you guys, what game have you played the most hours
And
of?
here's the cash. There's enough powder and shot here to bring down an elephant.
Or a flock of hummingbirds, perhaps.
People in video games really don't use their legs to climb. They really need to do that. Okay, so if that's the town, I don't know what these X's represent. Probably targets to strike.
Jane tracked the mercenaries to the swamps.
Bloody rings. A set of bloody silver rings, each engraved with the symbol of a hummingbird, collected by Jane.
Jane means to kill them all.
With the help of Squire Sincere Paris.
Jelly says... Hold on.
I don't blame her. She didn't start the bloodshed. Why shouldn't she finish it?
So this is Jane, for everybody that came over. Poised and capable, careful and deliberate, this young Native American is fiercely independent. Her trust is hard-earned, but her loyalty to those she considers friends seems unshakable. To avenge her tribe, Jane will kill their mercenary murderers. So here's what I think is going
Let's
on.
go do a little scouting.
Well, sorry, I feel like there's one additional step here that we haven't confirmed just yet. Also, I didn't realize that there was that there. I think that the sickness came from the blankets that Sincere Paris brought over. The thing I absolutely do not know is whether or not he was aware that those blankets were infected with presumably smallpox. So Jelly Buns was saying that she thinks that for her it'd probably be Skyrim. On Steam it would be Skyrim, but recently gotten very into Valheim. Interesting. I have actually made it a point not to see very much of Valheim because I would like to play it. Yes, I do see it. We'll do that combat challenge in just a minute. I'm gonna pick up all this great loot. Yeah, at the end of stream, before I raid out, I really want to take a look, because I actually don't know what Steam would say is the... Hope you didn't want that, buddy. What Steam would say is the game that I have played the most on this account. Oh, wait, the secret cache. We just picked up a key to a secret cache, but I'll have to go... I don't know where the secret cache is.
Spectre nearby. Big one. I'll summon it now.
Like, this year, I've played a lot of Against the Storm, but, I'm sorry. Let me just double check. This is Make Manifest, though. No, it's a Scourge. Okay. I'll grab this stuff while I'm thinking of it.
Spirit and flesh, I summon you!
Ow. Defeated enemies refill a decoction charge. Using decoctions triggers a damaging area of effect. Okay.
I can help.
That didn't feel very damaging.
Can't outrun a ghost. Come back here! Can't outrun a ghost.
I guess. I don't know. That doesn't seem that damaging to me, though. Sorry.
It's up to no good.
Oh, no. This guy also summons those ghost birds that we gotta watch out for.
You go, you wee bastard!
Yeah, it's a little bit of damage to do the decoction thing. Sometimes the little clues that it gives you up there at the top right are like definitely the way to go.
There's more of.
Spectre, going for a meat suit.
Ow.
Die, you bastard!
That's pretty good. We actually stopped 2 of them from possessing corpses.
Get the hell out of there!
Absolutely not sure what it's doing there.
Standing by.
Hey, +1 to all attributes. What is it cumulatively? We've probably gotten like +7, +8 to all attributes doing that. Caroluna says, Skyrim would be up there for him, but I've also played some outside of Steam there. So there's 170 hours for Skyrim and 9 hours of the special edition, but I mostly have been launching it using Skyrim, whatever it's called, the launcher. Not sure if Steam counts those hours. It should, I would think. Hello to Ronan! Ronan, I suspect that you also came in with the raid. I hope that you've had a great Thursday. You guys, it's one day until Friday. Or actually, it's one day until the weekend. Whatever. 24 hours from now, it will be the weekend. I am really looking forward to it. I don't know what it's telling me is close by. It really wants me to know that there's something around here. But we've already done this ritual, so it feels like it would have to be something else. Skyrim script extender, says Caroluna. Yeah, the mods often do need that. The modding scene for Bethesda games is really something to behold. Is it just this? Because that's marked as done. I'm not sure that I don't think there's anything else here. I'm going to feel bad if I'm missing something, but we're going to go on. Oh, Jelly Buns! I also saw your... Sorry, I don't mean to yell into the mic. I just get very excited. Because, Jelly Buns, I did see your new mascot, which I thought was extremely cool. That's... Wait. We can unlock this. Didn't I get the secret cache key? I'm pretty sure that I did. I'm going to go over here because I got a secret cache key and we see a secret cache chest that's locked. I feel like these two things might go together. This way. The compass, like... this is one of those things that I'm worried that I might forget to say whenever our final episode comes around, but the compass in this is very well done. I love the fact that it shows you the way to go to get to what you wanted to go see. Hooray! We got Golden Retribution with our Golden Cache Key, which is right here. So... I see a lot of red, which I'm not a big fan of. We double our willpower in exchange for 10 wisdom, 11 wrath. Yes, actually 11 wisdom as well. A big chunk of persistence and a big chunk of spirit, and then we get a little bit of health. I'm not a fan of what I see here. Banish damage increased by 50%, but spirit points gains are reduced by 20. I don't use banish enough to make that worthwhile. Wait, I didn't equip that, did I? No, Spiritual Parasite I'm actually really happy with. Jelly Buns is very excited about him. I think we saw that on, No, hold on. What's this now? I did not realize there was an altar to the invisible over here. I think it was on Blue Sky, wasn't it, Jelly Buns, that you posted that? I really like the design. Alright, so we're gonna follow the compass. But yeah, I was sharing that the games that I've probably played the most number of hours on...
I'm right here, you know. To me!
Are going to tend to be strategy games.
Get rid of the other Spectre first.
Back down to hell.
Just because they are, just by their design, so replayable. And if I was to rank them, I think that it's probably Stellaris number 1, Civ 6. Now, see, I might have played more Civ 4 than Civ 6, just because of like how my schedule is these days. But I even that might be a close call. And XCOM 2, the thing is, a playthrough of XCOM 2 is somewhat shorter, I think, than the way that I tend to play Civ 6 or Civ 4, which is like really large maps that like go on like at the slowest game speeds.
Take care. The place is warded.
This prevents ghosts from manifesting. When inside this area, you're unable to switch to Antea to use her abilities. Find the ghost ward to destroy it to recover Antea. Okay. I don't know what that looks like.
Much better.
That's what it looks like. And now we can do this. So for Jelly Buns and everybody raiding over, we made a few, actually one specific tweak to the sort of like the way that this is all put together. Any feedback or thoughts you had on how the stream looks, if it's, you know, good quality, flows properly, sounds okay? Always interested in that feedback, especially after we make a little bit of a tweak. Also, I should stop, like, asking Jelly Buns lots of things, because she probably has some self-care to tend to. Oh. After hopefully a long and entertaining stream. Jelly Bun says, she was just about to get up and take care of things, but then a cat got in my lap, so I'm trapped for the moment. I can make a horrible screeching sound to see if that would shock the kitty away. Actually, no, I can't. Oh, yeah, so Jelly Buns. So Jelly Buns was asking about the movie They Live, and potential spoilers for an action movie from the 1980s. Jelly Buns, I really, really like They Live. I am completely there for the whole vibe. The thing that I like about it, and one of the things that is very endearing about it to me, is that Roddy Piper is coming to this role from having been a professional wrestler. So he's coming to it with like all of his knowledge about how to just exude bravado and energy and to be a hero or a heel in the world of professional wrestling. And now he's going to be on a like big movie screen. And what he does so well is communicate through his body and his language and his acting that he's somebody who, look, in this world of They Live, he seems like a pretty big guy. He's good looking and he's got a lot of confidence. But when it comes to like, I'm going to be a badass, he doesn't actually know how to do that. So he has all of those, some of those catchphrases, like, and Jelly Buns had like seen like the meminess of it. Well, the thing is, back in like 1980, it wasn't a meme to say, I have come to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. And it's so silly, but it's just like, the thing I like about his performance is that he's just like, he's somebody who really wants to have a catchphrase, but he can't think of one.
What is this place? Never seen anything like it.
It's impressive indeed. Let's find the treasure.
You're a born romantic, Antea Duarte.
Yeah, this is gonna be a teleport point.
Sadly, I can't fly.
I can help you there.
Well,
Oof,
no,
that was close.
I hope the rest of it holds.
Well, I'm not reassured.
Caroluna's got to take off. Caroluna, thank you very much for hanging out tonight. I hope we were able to get you off into a very nice nighttime and that your Friday goes well, and good luck on the re-imaging and everything else.
Red, I can't manifest anymore.
Oh, there's a ghost ward.
I am warded. I cannot.
Do we see it anyplace? I do not. So we might need to destroy the ghost ward first, and then we can come down here and do teleporty stuff. Jellybun says, it's not that I dislike it, it's that it left me so confused about what emotions I'm supposed to be feeling. Also, the fight scene that lasted 15 minutes for no reason. Jellybuns, how dare you? There was a very important reason. They needed to decide whether or not he was going to put on the sunglasses.
Wards.
Stop minimizing the principles that these two men were fighting over.
There must be ghost wards around here yet.
Oh, that wasn't the only one. No, it is, and there's... I think that's a creeping vine, but I'm not 100% sure, because we can't check with, Yep, that definitely is. No, like, Jellybuns, just to share, like, straight up, I had the exact same reaction to it when I first watched They Live. I was like, what the hell are we having a fight about? Why not just put on the sunglasses? Why is it worth taking a punch?
I can help if you destroy the bloody ghost wards.
Or why is it worth throwing a punch, much less taking a punch, over this argument? But at that point, if I remember correctly, Keith David had enough. I think he had lost his job. Like, the thing about, like, They Live is that it's probably important to understand the...
Sadly, I can't fly.
I can help you there.
The economic environment into which it was made, which was one of, like, sort of like unbridled capitalism for, like, venture... I don't think they were called venture capitalists at the time. I might be wrong. But at the expense of the working men. And in the world of They Live, as read as, like, just the world of the 1980s, there were a lot of people that were really struggling. And here is Keith David, and from his perspective, he has done everything humanly possible to introduce Rowdy Roddy Piper into the world, to get him a job, to bring him into the fold, and then Bro is just like being a huge disaster and causing all of these problems, and I believe at that point in the story had actually cost Keith David his job. And he was really angry about it. And now here comes this dude who's just like ruining everything. And he's like, but no, you don't understand. Just go ahead and like put on these sunglasses. You have to check out these sunglasses. And Keith David has had enough. He's like, no, I'm not going to put on the sunglasses. Like, here's the thing that I think to understand. He wasn't necessarily punching Rowdy Roddy Piper because of the sunglasses. He was punching Rowdy Roddy Piper because he really wanted to punch him. And the sunglasses were as good an excuse right that second as any. I can hear you, your shit-eating grin over the internet as you speak. I'm also distracting Caroluna from getting a good night's sleep still. So we should be less interesting. Talk about fewer things that... Caroluna is a gigantic fan of They Live. So anytime the conversation starts, he can't.
If there's a reward to be had, we've earned it.
Marquack! Yeah, first of all, thank you for the 500-bit cheer. I very, very much appreciate it. And Marquack is saying Keith David's character had a right to be angry. It's been a bit since I've seen it, but probably like a year or so. So, like, that's the thing to understand. The punch fight... So, okay. Here's what the two characters were fighting about. It was not actually about, do try on the sunglasses. No, I don't want to try to put on the sunglasses. Rowdy Roddy Piper needed another person to see what he saw and to understand what was going on, and that everything that had happened, including losing the jobs, was a marker of something much worse that everybody was unaware of. And he needed to show it to somebody that he actually really liked and was a friend of his, somebody who had gone out on a limb to help him. And now Rowdy Roddy Piper needed him to see the truth of what was happening. From Keith David's perspective, fuck this guy. I hate this guy. I don't want to put on the sunglasses because this guy is crazy and he cost me everything. He cost me everything that I'd built up here. And he mostly just wanted to punch him.
That was fun. Except the part where I almost died.
We didn't almost die. So, we do have a new brooch that is worse in every way, except possibly for manifestations damage is increased by 50%, but damage taken by Antea is increased by 50%. But we lose so many good things. Wait, what? Wait, that's what we got? That's our bonus here? Punch attack damage increased by 5%? That's terrible. That's... Well, then again, it was the only brooch I had up until now. Yeah, maybe if we can upgrade this. So this has some downsides, but it's going to make her yell or her, like, netting way better. Also, no, that's a tattoo. I was going to ask, why are her fingers all black? Have I overlooked this?
Be careful.
Have we got treasure hunter rules now?
One never stops learning.
Okay. Jellybun says, as we find our portal home... Boink. Jellybun says, I watched the movie because my friend bugged me relentlessly to watch it, so I told him that he had to watch a movie I picked, so I'm going to have him watch Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet. I am not familiar with most forms of Romeo and Juliet. Or most Shakespeare. I respect people that like Shakespeare. As far as the movie versions go, I just have no opinion. I just haven't seen a lot of them. Let's see. If I was to really... So, I think I've shared this on stream before. Cabin in the Woods came out in May, and my birthday is in May. Like, I can just sort of give that as a general 30-day period when my birthday occurs. And I really wanted to see that movie because I was a fan of... that movie was, I think, co-written by Joss Whedon, and this was before, like, it turned out he was a pretty weird dude. That's putting it lightly, but I really want to move on with the story of the movie. And it was directed by Stephen S. DeKnight, I believe. If I'm wrong, I apologize, because it might have been somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it was directed by Stephen S. DeKnight, whose work I also really enjoy a great deal. I'm not doing that yet. We're going to come back for that. We want to go to... here? Let's go to the campfire, and then we'll see if we can fast travel to... Because a kilometer away feels like a good distance. Yeah, hold on. We're going to go this way. 800 meters. But anyway, so I really wanted to see the movie, and when I did, I really wanted my friend HW to see it. Cabin in the Woods we're talking about now. Cabin in the Woods is an excellent movie. Cabin in the Woods, you cannot describe why Cabin in the Woods is worth watching without spoiling it. It is a highly spoilable movie, is what I'm trying to get to. But my friend HW, well, he was like, well, no, Cabin in the Woods, that sounds boring. That sounds really boring. I don't want to watch a movie about a house that's just in the woods. Who wants to see that? What, they just go in and they sit in the house. That's a boring movie. I was like, well, but I can't tell you. No, then can I watch a trailer? I'll watch a trailer. No, don't watch the trailer. Then I don't want to see it. It sounds boring. So at one point I was just like, okay, we're not going to talk about this anymore. I'm going to show you the movie. And then if you don't like it, then you can explain to me what I should have told you that wouldn't also have spoiled the movie. And after he watched it, in the way that he does, he reluctantly accepted that it was, no, that was a pretty good movie. And no, I don't know what you should have said. So he did reluctantly accept that I had... Yeah, we're just going to fast travel right here. Damn it. I keep pressing A to travel, and it's X. And I do that mistake every single time. But yeah, if you have a friend who knows your taste in movies and they advise you to watch Cabin in the Woods, just watch the movie. You're not signing a long-term employment contract. You're not like gonna go live in Antarctica for 6 months.
I guess we're bird watching.
Crimson hummingbird should stand out.
The movie's like 100 minutes long. Just watch the movie, and if you don't like it, then you can tell your friend why you didn't like it. But like, I can't recommend it blindly because some people aren't going to like it. But what I cannot do is tell you what I like. Like, we cannot have a conversation about why I like Cabin in the Woods, because to discuss it is to spoil it. So you've either seen it and you have your opinion of it, or you've not seen it, and again, unless somebody has told you, you're not going to get it. Interesting. That's not a good use of that ability. Wait, I could break that from the other side? Okay, that seems super weird, but whatever. Jelly Buns, it sounds like the cat has moved because she has to go do some things. I will be in lurk mode. Jelly Buns, very, very much appreciated. Oh, we found a doll. Found a bunch of cash. So I assume either the value of Witch Zone has plummeted to NFT quality values, or maybe Seeker is going to be our new merchant who buys and sells things for Witch Zone. I feel like we had the one contact and she's moved into the retirement zone. God, now I borderline want to, like, talk about movies that I think are particularly spoilerable, but then again, that itself might be a spoiler. Do I have enough dolls, do we think? Because it is showing a lock symbol, but maybe if we do the ritual?
Unclean spirit, leave now.
Wind chimes. So, lots of red, but let's read what it does first. Damage dealt by Antea is increased by 30%, but health point gains are reduced by 50%. I feel okay about that. We gain a bunch of strength and dexterity, that's all for red, and some wrath. Wrath is for her manifestation power, isn't it? Right. What we lose is persistence, which is okay. Spirit points, which is... Wait, persistence is how fast it goes down during combat. On punch attacks or for manifestations. And then spectral percentage, is that the defense? Yeah, so we're going from 39 to 9. That is a massive drop-off. Then again, the more damage is pretty good. I'm not going to commit to that one way or the other. Yeah, this one seems Metamorphosis is not my playstyle. I can say that much. I'll say this because I have definitely mentioned this on stream before. The trailer for Oblivion... was that what it was called? What's the Tom Cruise movie starring Tom Cruise and maybe Holly Hunter shows up at one point? It's mostly Tom Cruise. Was that called Oblivion? Am I remembering that correctly? That is a very cool movie that if you watch the trailer, like, please do not now go watch the trailer to see which one I'm talking about, because that trailer gives away too much. By, like, way too much. Find the mercenary camp. I feel like we went over there. Find the mercenary camp. Are we not... Is this whole thing not the mercenary camp? We'll continue to look around here. This feels like an altogether exit, but I'm just gonna watch... Well, because we're doing this now.
Have some of this.
Okay, we're still in the search zone. Oh, we just left the search zone. Oblivion has Olga Kurilenko and Andrea Riseborough. And it's very... yeah, so I think that is the movie that I'm thinking of, because Mark Quack is agreeing it's very spoilery to talk about it too much. Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. I can speak pretty specifically that I would not have enjoyed it nearly as much if I had watched the trailer and knew what the trailer had to say. There was also... wasn't it like... Terminator Genesis also has, like, an extremely spoilery... Nope. Trailer, if I remember correctly. Now, I would not put Terminator Genesis onto the same level as Oblivion, or Cabin in the Woods, or other movies that we're talking about right now. But still, I mean, why spoiler... I keep saying that, I'm so sorry. Why spoil something for yourself if... you don't have to? Like, why not watch the movie and then decide from there? And similar to, like, other things, like, Terminator Genesis is a Terminator movie in the same way that The Predator is a Predator movie. Like, it's got those things in it, but it's presented with such a different tone and execution that it just doesn't feel the way that they do. That others in the franchise do. God damn it, I love The Predator. That's the one... Now I'm trying to remember anybody that was in The Predator. Oh, like Olivia Munn. She was the one in that, right? Like, that movie was very good. To me. I can't recommend it to other people, because other people were, like, really mad about it. But, man, I like that. Like, who that was the director on that one? Writer and director. Mark Quack will know. Jody K, hello to you! Oblivion is a 10-year-old movie, says Jody K. If you haven't seen it and are worried about spoilers, then it's on the person who hasn't seen it to avoid spoilers. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, a lot of people are going to come here because they're looking for Banishers. They're not going to be tuning in. Like, this is where we saw all the hummingbirds that I was thinking of.
Watch out. Spectre possession.
Like, that is a point, Jody K. But... the way that I think about it is, if somebody, like, Banishers especially, is like a new game. Oh, hold on. So somebody might stop by and say, oh, Banishers, I wonder what that game is about. Like, oh, it's made by Don't
Look at
Nod.
the little birdie.
I wonder what that's like. And then they come in here right while I'm, like, describing some movie that, yeah, it might be 10 years old, but they probably didn't want to know, like, what all is happening in it. Painted hummingbird. Yes, I see it. Oh, Jody K's been here for 30 minutes. Well, I'm very glad that you're here. But that's more me just, like, describing why, like, there's a movie that's 10 years old that I don't want to get too into. But I will say, oh, you guys, Mark Quack, you're going to know this one, and I bet nobody else will. Do you know that movie, Take Shelter? Yeah. Holy shit. Do not watch the trailer for that movie. I can't tell you if you're going to like it or not, but do not watch that trailer. Wow. I don't, like, jeez. I really appreciated Take Shelter. Again, I would have been pissed as shit if I'd watched the trailer first. Oh, that's Antea. She's looking around. All right, so our spirit track is saying to go up there. We just have to find a way to do it. Yeah, Marquack, I think it was Dingus and Tom who like put me onto that movie. Shane Black, yes, The Predator. If anybody ever watches The Predator and they're like, what is this stupid crap? Who is this for? The answer is me. It's for me. I'm the one. I'm the one that they made that movie for. I really liked it. And I don't mean that in an ironic way. Discovering what that movie was such a delight. That, by the way, we've been here before. That was me finally figuring out how to lower that drawbridge. And not solve the mystery yet. Jody K says, I don't know, I go into streams assuming people will also be talking about other things than just the game. Oh, for sure. I want to be respectful that, like, if I were to pause the game and I were to say, I am now going to spoil Oblivion. Like, well, hold on, let me read this. April 6th, after several days of resistance, the fort remains. This last week, attacks on the frontier came quick and hard. The savages took many brave soldiers down, but we remained strong. I might have read this, I don't remember. Native people of these lands are high of courage and resolute. As a soldier, I admire them. I definitely read this before, but we'll finish it out. I wish only that they would understand our purpose, to bring them salvation. I have no doubt they will make the finest Christians once they're defeated. I absolutely remember reading that because I had the same reaction then that I'm having now, which is not a positive one towards the concept of salvation. Saving people through a religion that they do not follow, understand, or have any remote interest in. Replacing their religion with your own by force of gunpoint. We'll move on. But yeah, there are times when I will really feel motivated to do that.
I found something.
Pause and to say my piece. Here, just in describing like here are movies that you should not watch the movie for fear of spoilers. I would feel a little bit weird about now taking the opportunity to spoil the movie.
Brave boys, and raw, filled with foolish stories. Easily recruited.
I don't remember where I was saying. There are mushrooms in there. Jägermeister is saying, also Jody K is saying that people, streams where they aren't talking about other stuff are, that she finds boring. As do I. Like I am paying attention to the story that we are uncovering. So far, I feel like I have a pretty good sense of what all is going on, but we'll see for sure. But during these like moments where we're going along, yeah, for sure, we can talk about like other stuff. I don't have anything new to say about Oblivion right now other than don't watch the trailer. It's big time spoiler energy. We met Seeker here specifically. I remember that we were here with Seeker. I think this is where we got onto the boat. That is not where we're going to do that. That's one of the things that we're going to shoot.
I take the heart, you take the roots.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Antea. We just have to find the heart. Oh, so I don't know what the trailer is, but so I was just talking about a movie that I had to convince HW to see. In fairness, because let's be fair about it, I never would have watched. There it is. Okay, so we know one of the roots is right there. I never would have watched the movie Don John. Trailer or no, I don't even know what the trailer for that is. Nothing about that movie says that it would be something that I'd even be remotely interested in. HW said, I really think you're going to like it. I watched the movie. He was dead right. He was absolutely right. That's another movie that I would feel bad talking about Don John because I can so specifically pinpoint the exact moment when I realized what the movie was about that I wouldn't want to rob anybody else of that sense of discovery. I don't know We see one. Maybe there's only 2 routes. I feel like there's usually 3, but screw it. Let's do what we can. What do you know? There's 3. Oh, there it is.
Sharpshooter.
Wow, it really handed me that one. Marquak, if you're still here, because sometimes Marquak gets called away for work or for Jedi patrol. And I hope Jedi is doing well, by the way. Did they ever watch Tom and Friends? Hold on. We did read that, but we did not get that because we couldn't untangle the vines before. Seeking? No. Shit. The movie has Aubrey Plaza and Mark Duplass. I don't want to say what it's about. Well, I can say what it's about. Like, I can say, like the premise of the movie is described right away. The movie is about safety not guaranteed. We'll just actually say that. I would say, again, probably don't watch the trailer for that. I don't actually know that I've seen it. I really like Safety Not Guaranteed. It's going to be a movie that's a little bit difficult to, like, recommend to people because it's somewhat different on the pacing and execution, but boy, did I, like, a friend recommended that to me. I've never shown that one to HW. I don't know what he would say about that, except no.
Spectre heading for that corpse.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, I guess, yeah. Yeah, so Antea's teleport will reliably hit the enemy that is closest to her, whether that
You're
is
in
the
its
most
sights, Ren. Not gonna ask for help?
urgent target or not. Wow, I really failed on that counterattack.
Did we miss a few? Get the hell out of there! Watch out! Spectre possession. This isn't over yet. Spectre, going for a meat suit.
Nope. Ow! Holy shit, hold on. X. 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 There is... We're not done.
This explains the abandoned loot.
Aye, it does.
There's some sort of rule to when you can drink a decoction that I haven't quite worked out. But it's not like a Estus flask or something where you just sort of like pop it on like a heartbeat's notice. There seems to be a certain level of animation priority. Like, you can do all sorts of things. Like, I'm pretty sure that you can charge up, but then, like... Well, there I just immediately drank a decoction, which I didn't mean to. But, like, charge that up, but then dodge out of it and stuff. But sometimes I'm trying to drink a decoction, and I press X, like, 4 times, and nothing happens. I don't think that's a bug. I think that there's some sort of, like... minimum amount of time from the last hit that you took or something before you can do it. Sorry, because I do want to read this. Mark Rex says, from the 4 to 3 Movies podcast, although we're thrilled to talk about Take Shelter, we have to ask that you don't listen to the podcast until you've seen Jeff Nichols' spectacular Sign of the Times slow burn thriller. Slow burn thriller is a great description for that movie. Mark Rex further says, wait, hold on. Jägermeister, and hello to you if I haven't said hello, I'm concerned that I wasn't. I haven't seen Oblivion, and I appreciate not getting spoiled. If you're telling me it's 4.5 stars, I'll be sure to watch it. So it's definitely not a horror show. Again, not being able to account for individual tastes, I would be a little bit surprised if somebody watched Oblivion and just like, I hate everything about this. You know, like... Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, Safety Not Guaranteed, Take Shelter. These are movies that have... Children of Men. These are movies that have kind of a specific vibe to them, and as much as I really like all the movies that I just listed off, I can envision people being like, this seems boring, like just not feeling it. Oh, hold on. We definitely have to read about things that were never human. I really want to read this. Hold on. Be proud of what you know, my dearest disciple, for knowledge is what makes you who you are and how you challenge the world. But be wise enough to also know your limits. Some things are not made to be approached, known, or mastered. We're missing our Oxford comma, damn it. Today, I'll tell you about the things which were never human, the angry shadows which lurk and prowl at the doors of our world, out of reach and understanding for the mortals, we are and must remain. Eternal they are, nameless and countless they are. Strangers to the very principle of life they are. When younger, I believe they were our counterpart, misunderstood herders from the other land. I now know better. Whichever their names, demons, fiends, devils, beasts, their nature and their goals, they are the enemy and we are the prey. We are witches and we seek balance. We respect the wisdom of our older sisters. Let the foolish men lose themselves in the shallow hope of controlling the things which wait for them in the void, the things which were never human. Any, like, development of lore in this, I'm very much into. And now knowing that, like, yeah, it's not just ghosts, it's also other things from the other side. Like, even the nightmare used to be human as far as we are made aware. Oh, but what I was just going to say real quick on Oblivion. Oblivion is, like, somewhat more mainstream in its presentation and, like, pacing. So, again, not knowing your specific taste, Jägermeister, I'd check it out. I think that you'd have a good time with it if you don't know it. And again, it's not like 5 hours long. I'm not signing you up to watch all of, like, Orphan Black, okay? It's a movie. It's fine. Consignment A, tobacco, black tea, shipment from New Eden, July 4th. This is, by the way, 1690. This is about 5 years ago. Consignment B, farm tools and miscellaneous as accumulated from June raids. Cargo C, hospital blankets, origin undisclosed. Cargo must be handled with care. See attached note. Yes, we are definitely dealing with infected blankets.
Handle with care. But they were just blankets.
I don't like this at all.
I feel like this story... Sorry, let me just make sure there was nothing else over here. This story might have a more surprising outcome if... Okay, that was the music making that sound. If you're not familiar with some of the just horrible humanitarian crimes that were visited on the native peoples, among which is the providing
I
them...
found something.
Well, that's great, Antea. Tell me all about it. Providing native peoples with infected blankets. The worst... I can't say the worst of cruelties, but this complete betrayal of somebody. Innocent people under the guise of kindness. Mark Wack, though, is saying, let me pause here real quick because I do want to read it. Tom was really not a fan of Safety Not Guaranteed. It made the worst things you'll see all week. Oh, dear. Post. Nothing from Dingus, and I don't recall him saying anything about it. For myself, Mark Wack has not seen it. I'll have to add it to the things I eventually watch, and I'm glad to have no spoilers. Some of my favorite movie-going experiences were going in knowing nothing but the title of movie. Yeah, look, that's a really good example. Tom did not like it. I would be interested to read his thoughts from his, thing, worst thing you'll see all week. I think we're going to drop a rope here. For me, Safety Not Guaranteed was another movie where I was like, I do not understand why Mark Duplass is not more famous than he is. I don't understand why, if you, I would be willing to bet that a lot of people who might be listening to this have no idea who I'm talking about. Maybe if you saw him, be like, oh, that guy. But, even there, he's really good. He is extremely good, and he's so good in that movie. Francis Bovingers? Let's just move on. Where did I go wrong? When we left camp in the swamps, or when we came back to it? Or was it the Pennacook mess of 1690? Someone hunts us, isolated, we were picked off. Regrouping in the fort here, we had numbers. We had, too, the advantage of fortification and a view on each approach. Well, that was the plan, but the plan was wrong. I was wrong. The hummingbirds are old now, and tired of living hand to mouth. Someone or something is still after us. One by one, the men disappear. Maybe the stories are true. Perhaps witches and ghosts do hide in the stinking marsh. To hell with them. We had a bloody good time. I spit in their eye, and I'll die doing it. F.B. Bovingers. I have no idea how to say that name. Is it just Boviger? Boston, September 1690. So again, 5 years ago. Boviger. I don't know how else you'd say it. It is now 3 days since the news of your troops' attack reached me. 3 days of disgust, 3 sleepless nights before I find the strength to express my revulsion. What you did is so far beyond the pale, it is in the deep blue Atlantic Sea. How could you? Why? For what purpose except for hate? Have you any idea how this slaughter will damage our relationship with the local tribes? Of course you don't, you ignorant beast. Having manure for brains, you consider only your own short-term gain. Shame on you, on your methods, on all who agree to take part in this appalling act of ferocity. I shall blacklist you with my merchant friends. Squire Sincere Paris. It wasn't sincerely. His first name is Sincere, as far as I can tell.
Name from Squire Paris's books.
Sincere Paris knew the mercenaries who massacred Jane's people.
And what they did seems to have horrified him.
Squire Paris traded with the mercenaries.
It's bad, but it's not the full story. I wonder what Jane knows about this.
If she doesn't know it yet, when she hears it, she'll be furious.
We need to investigate further.
Okay, time out, because we do know the whole story. They gave them blankets that were from a hospital that were infected, presumably with smallpox. Here's the thing. Squire Sincere Paris clearly didn't know. Why would he? What possible reason would he have to transport smallpox-infected blankets and hand them over to these people and say, here you go. By the way, what are you going to use them for? Oh, no, better that I don't know. And then when he finds out, then he's really angry about it. It doesn't make any sense. I also, is it too late to read that through again? His anger was not simply about, now you've cost me business. That was part of it. But I read that much more as a... What is this? This is just a jump down. No, it's a climb down. the rage of the humanity about it. What, you know, how could you ignorant moron, turd for brains, manure for brains, whatever he says. So we climbed down here to get in, right? I'm trying to work out where we haven't been in this camp yet. Jägermeister says, speaking of signing somebody up to watch endless video, a coworker was out for about 2 months because of complications with his vasectomy. Yikes. That's usually really safe. I'm sorry to hear that. When he got back, I teased that I'm addicted to Young and the Restless. And I'm going to get my own vasectomy to catch up on back episodes. Also, Jägermeister says, I have seen Oblivion, and I did enjoy it. I just forgot the title of it. I also forgot the title of it, which is why I had to check it with, like, Marquack. Oh. I hope I was supposed to come down. Do we have any sense of what I haven't seen yet? Oh, actually, we've reduced the zone. Hold on. Wait, no. It's down. Okay. So we're in the zone, but I do feel like it's telling me that I have to be up. I think I jumped down prematurely, so I apologize. Let's follow our compass. The compass is really, really, really good about teaching us where to go. Okay, now it wants me to go over here. Yeah, what were the two movies we just talked about? Safety Not Guaranteed, and there's one other. Not Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, but, Take Shelter. Those, like, I really want to stress that those movies have nothing to do with each other, but they exist in a similar place in my mind, similar to 50-50 and Win-Win. Those are not the same movie. They're about different things written and directed by different people and starring different people. Yeah, we already read that one. So we did want to go up. I apologize. That said, for just whatever reason, these movies occupy a similar space where I'm like, I like these movies for similar reasons. No, this is how we got up here. We climbed on the wagon, we got in here, we jumped over here. Is there something else over here? Oh, is there a rope that I should drop? No, we already tied the rope. There's some damn thing I haven't found in here. Yeah, sometimes... Oh, like, I was talking about HW earlier. HW really liked the movie The Sixth Day. Like, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Like, that movie, like, really resonated with him. And it didn't, like, hit me the same way. But I love the fact that, like... Oh, and just randomly, here, a movie that we really agree on. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I very, very, very much like Being John Malkovich. I have to say that of the... Shoot. I've completely forgotten the name of the guy who wrote and directed Adaptation, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Being John Malkovich. No, it's this way. Darn it. I don't know what I'm not seeing. What the heck is that guy's name? We read this. So, the ribbons... No, they are definitely going up. This is so weird. Charlie Kaufman, thank you. Yeah, of those three movies. So, I have to say this. Adaptation, I bounced completely off. If I were to watch it again, I might have a different sense of it. But adaptation just didn't land with me at all. I adored being John Malkovich. I should have followed the ribbons. Okay, here we go. But Eternal Sunshine, that is a... Even if you dislike being John Malkovich for its weirdness, Eternal Sunshine is so good. It's a really great movie. Okay, and Michael... Michelle? I'm not sure how to say that. Gondry directed Eternal Sunshine and Kaufman wrote it. Maybe that's why it's a little bit less weird than being John Malkovich. I always attributed that to, like, just the subject matter was a little bit more grounded in a weird way. But goddamn, it's a good movie. It really is. Movies I like to get to know, like, the person that I am, Eternal Sunshine is really good. The blanket cargo is infected with smallpox and handling must be avoided. Direct skin contact is prohibited. Clearance necessary to manipulate the contents. Any unnecessary contact demands immediate isolation. The cargo is to be sold on July 21st. A generous incentive in shillings will be given for the blankets to reach target before the next week without asking any questions. He did know. He wanted the money. He didn't know what they were going to be used for, but he was paid to not know. He was paid to not ask questions.
The smallpox in the blankets was intentional.
The Pennacook were sick. Smallpox. We should talk to Squire Paris.
I don't know how to read that. The way that that's written reads to me, what was the title of it? It seems to me like he didn't know what they were going to be used for. But what is it? No one is so blind as someone who has a financial self-interest in being stupid, in not being educated, something like that. I'm completely butchering this this saying, but Squire Paris had a distinct financial incentive to not find out what these smallpox-infected blankets were. And then when he found out the identity of the people that were poisoned, diseased, had this pestilence visited upon them, then he was very angry about it. But it was only after he knew the names and the faces of the victims. Adaptation, Spike Jonze. That was the name. Like, Charlie Kaufman, yes, but Spike Jonze was the name that I was trying to think of. No. Sorry, we want to go back to town, which is... No, that's Fort Jericho. Sorry. Mire Marshes, Darkwoods. This is where we want to go. That's where we want to go. The map is actually really good. Like, Darkwoods is where we started. The Mire Marshes is where the witches live. Yeah, like, I just need to not press A to fast travel. Yeah, adaptation, I should rewatch it. Because I didn't hate it. I just didn't get it. I should rewatch that. Yeah, if I really want to, like, slice something open, like that R.A. Salvatore book. What playthrough was that? Where I shared my thoughts on that that very first, like, R.A. Salvatore D&D book. Boy, that book was bad. But I went ahead and I said, I'm going to spoil this book now because I read it and I don't think that you should ever make that mistake. So let's hear what we're going to hear, but...
What now?
Your hands are drenched in Pennacook blood. The hummingbirds gave you pox-riddled blankets to sell to Jane's people. You knew what you were doing and did it anyway.
The hell, you say?
You hid the truth from Jane,
I helped her track the men who killed her people.
but you hid the part you played in the massacre. Why were the Pennacook attacked?
There was to be no attack. The pox was intended to force them from the land, that's all.
The fuck?
The rules of fair play do not apply in love and war. Doubly so in business.
This is why you linger. You deny your guilt. That binds you to Jane.
Business is business. Guilt can't come into it, or a man would never turn a profit. Guilt can hang. I didn't know the hummingbirds would attack the camp. Soon as I learned they had, I cut all ties.
The only survivor was enslaved. You bought her title and set her free. A cheap salve for your troubled conscience.
Read it how you will, Mistress Banisher. Now the truth is out. May I go?
It's not so simple. You knowingly sold infected blankets to Jane's tribe. She'll have to hear it.
What? No! No! She must not know! I've made amends. For years, she's had my help. You can't tell her? Please, don't tell her.
Sincere Paris sold the blankets to the tribe. I'm ill at the thought.
Did the squire buy Jane's freedom to assuage his own guilt?
He didn't feel too guilty to profit off her labor. All of him. Unforgivable.
Time to lay it all out for both of them.
I'm sure they'll both be fine with it.
Okay, I didn't know he would have a comment about that. Also, Mark Weick is thinking that it was probably Valhalla. That would have been a good fit. There was a lot of time to talk, and that sounds like about the right time frame. To each their own, but god damn, that book. Whew. Solid Kormicki is saying that he really liked Eternal Sunshine, but never recommends it to anybody. He only knows 2 other people who liked it, and every time he tells someone that he liked it, they're like, "How could you like that movie?" So that reaction always sort of ranks me like, "Oh, how could you like that movie?" Like, well, how about we slightly rephrase that? That's interesting. What did you like about it? Because people like things that I don't all the time, and sometimes you can really learn a lot by listening to somebody else's perspective. If there's one thing that I want to make it extremely clear, I am absolutely comfortable saying that I didn't like that R.A. Salvatore book or that beach movie that I watched and stuff, and I'll tell you in detail why I didn't like it. If somebody else comes along and says that actually those are 2 of my favorite works of art, I'm not here to like dig that down. I would legitimately be interested to hear why somebody would enjoy like that R.A. Salvatore book. And I don't mean that in a judgmental way. Maybe the perspective that they bring to it would teach me something. Maybe I would learn something and like develop a new appreciation for it. So like that always bothers me. Like, oh, how would you like that movie? It's like, well, I'll tell you if you want to not like make me feel like an idiot for liking something, because I really like that movie, and I consider Eternal Sunshine to be a movie of such quality that it would be really surprising to me that people would look at it and say, no, I find nothing. Here's the thing. I need to unpause and like do this quest, but if somebody went into that expecting a Jim Carrey comedy, then yeah, they would be extremely upset at the movie that they actually got. If somebody had seen Jim Carrey in something like The Truman Show, another movie that I really, really enjoyed, by the way, and they understood that he will sometimes pivot towards more serious roles, yeah, then they might be walking into it with more accurate expectations, and there's a lot in that movie to like. This is not where we're supposed to be at all. I think what happened is that I accidentally marked it. Yeah, I accidentally marked it because I pressed A instead of X. There. this is still not where we're meant to be. Marquardt is...
Jane,
Hold on.
don't listen to him. This is a misunderstanding.
Here to come clean, Paris.
What is going on here?
This is your chance, Paris.
The truth, my friend. The truth now.
Have I not always been there for you?
Tell me.
I did not think they would attack you. They swore it was not the plan. I helped you wreak vengeance upon them. Every last one.
Every last one but you. I need no banisher. The spirit of Squire Sincere Paris is mine.
Why did you work with the Hummingbird mercenaries?
I'm a merchant. I trade. Business is business. Money is money.
Blood money.
All money is blood money. Especially here in the shiny new world. All money is blood money.
Anything to add, Paris?
Nothing to add. My downfall is complete. Now, do what you do. And send me on my way.
I'm afraid right now it falls to us to end the story.
I'm gonna actually take one hand off the controller. What is the logic here? We're not going to do that. That's just murder. That's not even, like, I don't even understand. I am actually extremely curious what he would even say. Jane, you were the victim of a plot to commit genocide against your people using biological warfare. You were sold into slavery and then worked your penance and continued to work on behalf of this man who had a direct hand in butchering your people because it was financially convenient. And then when confronted, he went on a big justification thing about how all money is bad, and because anything bad ever happens anywhere, then everything bad is always justifiable. Therefore, it's your fault. I am so curious what he would say, and we are absolutely not doing that. So let's talk about what we do have here. Squire Paris was offered the opportunity to make a very large amount of money, like a huge bonus to deliver this extremely strange and highly hazardous cargo at his own risk, because smallpox ain't just for Native Americans. It could infect everybody. And he took on that risk to make a large amount of money so that then he would be able to, I don't know, have more money. He was just going to make a lot of money. That's all that it was. And then after he found out what he had a role in, he was absolutely horrified. And he did the one act of penance that he could do, which is to take some of that money, buy out her contract, then set her free. And I heard Antea cast some shade at him for, like, profiting off of her work. Unless he let the 7-year contract run out, and I really don't get the sense of that, I might be wrong. I'm a little bit confused. She then transitioned to being a paid employee. Now, that might have been because she had absolutely no other options in front of her, but she didn't hate what she did for him enough that then she decided to go off and do something else, and was presumably then a paid employee. Is it possible to do something so heinous that even if you literally spend the rest of your life trying to make up for it, it's still a bridge too far? Is there to be any forgiveness for somebody who genuinely realizes the horror of what they did and tries everything that they can to try to make it better? Yes, especially if after death you're still saying, well, it's not my fault and everybody makes money and all money is blood money.
Squire Sincere Paris, you tried to redeem yourself for your evil business. But you're a ghost, and I'm a banisher. We deal death to the dead. That's the trade. And business is business.
No! I've made amends. I've paid my bill.
And now we shall settle your account.
Be gone.
You'll surely be more useful to someone else.
Get out. By the way, I didn't pick up the key. Okay, no, we won't. Marquardt agrees with the decision. Yeah, a more nuanced conversation would have been, what if he... no, we're gonna go back to the hunter's camp for now. But, by the way, I'm gonna continue to talk those through, just because I really want to say, I don't want to just, it's not just like me flipping a coin. There is a logic to it. It's, what did we learn? And I can tell you exactly the moment when we went to his gravesite, and he was like, oh, yeah, well, you know, it was all of, you know, it was just about making money. The all money is blood money thing really stuck with me, as you can hear. What if he had been like, I couldn't say it aloud. It's a weight that I've carried my entire life. For years, I've struggled with this. And the only thing that I could do was try to be the very best man that I could. So what I did was I saved the one last member of the Pentacooks, and I set her free, and I said that what we're going to dedicate our lives to is to trading with the people out here, to show her the ropes so that I could leave her my business. And I can't undo what's been done, but once I found out, I realized that I couldn't live with it, and I was going to dedicate. What if he had been more contrite? I don't know. I feel like the outcome still would have been the same, just because the fuck, dude. If he had not known what the like what was in the cargo, or just been like, do not open, handle with care, and he had no idea, then I would have ascended him. I still wouldn't have blamed Jane. I am so curious what that dialogue would be. Like, after I finish the whole game, I am so curious. What do you even say to Jane? Them's the rubs. Like, I don't even know. But here it was like, can we ascend this guy? The only other argument for ascension for him is, I'm a banisher. My job is to lay this spirit to rest. He did try to make amends. Therefore, to whatever higher power there is to mete out punishment, that's for that person to decide. That's for that entity to decide. What I can see is somebody who really did their best while they were alive, and now they're just talking indelicately about it. I don't know. It was the total lack of contrition. The total lack of like, well, no, I already made my amends. I already did my time. Just fuck off. You know, as Fox says. Let's evolve. What are our choices here? We're going to look. Leap triggers an area effect dealing spectral damage. I do that all the time. That's a really good choice. Spirit cost of manifestations is reduced, but damage taken by red is increased by 15%. Here's the thing. I don't really care about the spirit cost of manifestations, at least not with my current build. I'm running on cooldowns, not on spirit point buildup. Outbursts increased by 30%. I use that all the time. Each enemy hit by manifestations increases the damage of manifestation by 15%. Can be accumulated. The trouble with that one is, how often do I do multiple manifestations without taking a hit of some kind? So I don't know that ceaseless. Regular punches, those are meted out punch, 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 punch. This is like, do a manifestation, then do another one in 30 seconds and not take damage between those times. Damage taken by 5% each. No, I don't care about that. Damage dealt by Antea is increased by 30%, but damage taken by red. Now, that's an interesting one. The trouble with that one is if red dies, and if Antea dies, Antea just turns back into red. Using the snare while banished. I don't like those ones. Wow, increases the ensnare damage by 1,400%. But still, I prefer banishing. Damage taken by red is reduced up to 20%. That's a good one. I'd take that one. Reduced by 25% while an enemy is affected by ensnare. Probably really helpful at higher difficulty levels. Spirit point gains are increased by 30%, but health point gains are reduced by 30%. It's more that I just don't care about that one very much. I'd probably take the ensnare just for good measure. I'm going to do the outburst area of effect. Although, so every time you switch to Antea, you get a 20% bonus on that. No, I really like this one. I think we're going to go with this one first, but we're definitely going to go with that one. Yeah, we hadn't read through those before. And let's rest, because I don't often rest, and we might even get like an epilogue. Alright, no. Okay. I feel like sometimes we get like that, like, dot matrix, 3D printed, you know, here's what happened and here's how we feel about it. Okay, and that was actually a really fully fledged case because that took a while. We are going to save it up, and as far as I know, no internet outages or issues. So yeah, that was a really, really fun session. I don't have an end to that sentence. Here's what's going to happen next. We're going to find somebody fun to raid. Thank you guys very, very much. We're going to take a look at this footage to see if the adjustment to the film grain made any noticeable difference in the quality or sort of smoothness of the stream. And if it did, for the better, then we'll let it ride. If there was no difference, then I might turn it back on just because I did appreciate it. It's not that pronounced, but yeah, I'd like to see that. Let's call it here. Thank you guys very, very much for hanging out this evening, and we will see you again after, oh gosh, not tomorrow, Saturday. I'd say probably on Saturday. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night.